Boris Johnson, remember him? Well, he's finalising his legal defence as he prepares to face an inquiry this week investigating claims that he deliberately misled MPs about illegal lockdown parties in Downing Street. The appearance in front of the House of Commons Privileges Committee on Wednesday could be a big moment in his political career. The cross-party committee of MPs will grill him over his claim in Parliament that no rules have been broken at so-called Partygate gatherings in Downing Street during the pandemic. However, Johnson's legal team are to reveal sensational text messages sent to the then PM from colleagues that will reportedly show he was quoting official advice when he denied in the Commons that parties had taken place. So will Houdini Johnson do it again? If he's cleared of misleading Parliament, is there a way back to public life for Boris Johnson? Let's speak to a former politician who has never been a stranger to controversy, ex-Conservative government minister and radio and television broadcaster Edwina Currie. Edwina, Boris has surprised us in the past. Can he do it again?
Did you actually say eggs, E-double-G-S, Minister?
Never.
Probably did. Well done. Well done. Can Boris do it again? He's got an awful lot of hurdles to jump over in this particular little obstacle race, hasn't he, Mark? I mean, he's got to get through the inquiry itself. I suspect that a number of the members of it, including some of the Tory members, have made up their minds already. If they suspend him or they vote to suspend him from the House of Commons for, say, 10 days, that's going to go to the Commons itself. And then Rishi has got to decide whether he whips everybody into line to support the former Prime Minister or whether he gives a free vote. And he may well give a free vote, in which case Boris could well find himself outside. So you've got an awful lot of hurdles there. Bearing this in mind, two things. One is that 60 of his ministers last summer resigned from government in what was clearly a coordinated effort in order to get him out. And then very unlikely, I would think, to give him enthusiastic support in the next few weeks. And the other thing is, it strikes me that Boris and his multiple households need the best part of £500,000 a year before tax in order to keep everybody going. And he can't afford to do that if he was Prime Minister. And indeed, he can't afford to do it if he's government minister either, because he won't be able to do all the things that earn that kind of money. Have I made myself clear?
If he is cleared, there will obviously be another Boris bounce, won't there? How might he deploy that fresh bank balance of political capital? Do you think that Boris Johnson could play a role in helping Rishi Sunak fight the next election?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I hope he does that anyway, whatever happens and whatever approach to the next general election himself he takes. He may not stand. I think he'll stand, and he may find it a little more difficult, shall we say, to win Uxbridge. And certainly on the polls as they stand at the moment, he wouldn't hold Uxbridge. So none of these things are absolutely within our control. But Boris's best bet is to use his brilliance to attack the Labour Party and demonstrate just what a load of platitudinous twits they really are and how hopeless they are in producing policies that make any kind of sense. And to give his vocal and intelligent support to the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister's doing the right thing. And that's really very, very helpful. I mean, Rishi Sunak, I think, is a good Prime Minister, but he's not brilliant at PR, whereas Boris was brilliant at PR and perhaps a somewhat erratic Prime Minister. So, the two of them working in tandem could actually be extremely effective, might actually ensure that we win the next election instead of handing it over to the Labour Party.